Want to sound original on guitar? Steal. Ooh. So there's this quote that goes, good artists copy, great artists steal. Now, this is a quote that's been modified and misattributed to Picasso, probably by Steve Jobs in an interview, but the original quote's probably from T.S. Eliot the poet, and it goes like this. Immature poets imitate, mature poets steal. Bad poets deface what they take, and good poets make it into something better, or at least something different. The good poet welds his theft into a whole of feeling which is unique, utterly different from that from which it was torn. Now let's make it relevant to us. Immature guitarists imitate, mature guitarists steal. Bad guitarists deface what they take, and good guitarists make it into something better, or at least something different. The good guitarist welds his theft into a whole of feeling which is unique, utterly different from that from which it was torn. First off, I want to start this lesson by saying, if you're a new guitarist, don't worry too much about this. It requires you imitating, it requires you just learning a bunch of stuff before you can even get to this point. This is for you if you've been playing guitar for a long time and you're proficient at a certain level and you're trying to find your own unique voice. So what's the difference between imitating or copying and stealing? Well, to imitate or copy means to do what's already been done. To take stuff, to regurgitate it, and not add your own unique voice to it, not change it in any way. To steal, in this context anyway, means to take what's already been done, but to actually build upon it, to take it to a new place, to add your own unique voice to it. When you're copying or stealing, either way you're taking, but when you're copying, that's all you do, you just take it. When you steal, you take it, but then you add to it. A good example of this for me is one of my favorite guitarists, Stevie Ray Vaughan. Stevie Ray Vaughan loved Jimi Hendrix and Albert King, and he stole lots of stuff from them, but he didn't sound like them. You could always tell it was Stevie Ray Vaughan. He added his own unique voice to the stuff he took from them. And if you know Stevie Ray Vaughan, you can always tell it's him over, for example, Jimi Hendrix. Even when he's playing a Jimi Hendrix song, like Little Wing, I can always tell when it's Stevie Ray Vaughan as soon as it starts, instead of it being Jimi Hendrix. And really, Jimi Hendrix is the same way. He's another one of my favorite guitarists, and he stole from a lot of people, but you can always tell when it's Jimi Hendrix. He added his own unique voice to it. Now, obviously, I'm not saying that we're going to be like Stevie Ray Vaughan or Jimi Hendrix and change the face of music like they did, but we can still take from our influences, add them into what we do, and then add our own unique voice to it, instead of just copying it and being a bad knockoff of it. And just think of your favorite guitarist. I'm sure your favorite guitarist, you can hear their influences in their playing, but they don't sound like their influences. They don't sound like clones of them. They sound like themselves, even though they've stolen a lot from others. So how do you not just imitate or copy? How do you steal and actually make it your own? Well, the good news is that no matter how hard we try, we're never going to sound exactly like someone else. We all come from different backgrounds, different time periods, different experiences, different anatomies, different makeups. But still, if we're not careful, we can sound like bad knockoffs of someone, or we can sound like a clone. So in my opinion, the best way to steal and make it your own is to expose yourself and steal from as many different musicians and places as you can. If you just steal from one guitarist, if your favorite guitarist is Stevie Ray Vaughan, for example, and he's the only one you listen to, and you learn all his licks, and that's the only thing you do, you're gonna sound like a clone of Stevie Ray Vaughan, just a bad knockoff. But if you listen to a wide variety of music and all different styles, if you listen to jazz and blues and pop and hip hop and reggae and electronic music, and just bring everything into what you're doing, it's not even possible to sound like a knockoff of someone, because you're taking from so many different places. And don't just steal from guitarists. Steal from drummers, steal from pianists, steal from horn players, from vocalists, badgerman players. And so on. And don't just listen to the music of your culture. If you're in the West, don't just listen to Western music. Listen to music from Africa, from India, from South America. And in this modern day and age, it's so ridiculously easy because of Spotify and YouTube and other sources. Also, look for inspiration in other places besides music. In great art, poetry, literature, dance, architecture, video game design. Just don't limit yourself. Now, if you really want to dive into this concept more, I highly recommend you check out Austin Kleon's book, Steal Like an Artist, which is all about this subject. I knew that quote that I quoted at the beginning, which Steve Jobs attributed to Picasso. I had heard that before because I watched a lot of Steve Jobs videos, But this book has really taken a lot of that concept and made it easier to follow and digest. And it's a super easy read. It's a short book, something you can read in a day or less, but it's just jam-packed full of really helpful and inspiring concepts for any type of creator, whether you're a musician, an artist, or anybody who creates anything. And in this video, I'm going to leave you with a graphic from the book that I find really helpful and inspiring, created by the author Austin Kleon. So that's how to sound original on guitar. Let me know in the comments if you found this lesson helpful or if you have any questions. And also be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and keep moving forward.